Hello YouTube, we're back for another beer review. This is a little bit of a special one, sort of the Canadian equivalent of those celeb collab beers you see coming from like Stone and other breweries like that. Actually, I think there's a couple of different actual Canadian collab brews with celebrities recently. Seems to be all the rage these days, either bands or minor celebrities or whatever, somehow lending their name or actually partaking in the brewing. I don't think Tom Green actually took part in the actual brewing of this beer, but he did lend his name to it. This is from Bose, and this is the Tom Green beer. As you can see, Tom Green on the bottle. That must be a younger Tom Green because he certainly has a lot more hair there than he actually does in real life at this point. And it says down here, there's a little asterisk, and it says, "Not the Green Tom beer," a little in joke in reference to the show that put him on the map, the Tom Green show. 5% alcohol by volume. This is a milk stout. And it says the usual things from Bose, of course, out of Van Cleek, Ontario. I think this is like the second time they brewed this. I think there's only been one or two batches they brewed this year. Local spring water, organic barley malt, organic oats, lactose, organic hops, and brewer's yeast. So everything's all natural with Bose. And let's see what they say here. They have their little descriptor thing here. This is the Tom Green beer. It's not the Green Tom beer. Bose and Canadian actor and comedian Tom Green have collaborated to create the Tom Green beer, a milk stout. Tom Green beer displays, I don't need to see that. Says it pairs best with cheese, sandwiches, or just cheese sandwiches, okay, sausages, and game meats such as moose. Interesting. Okay, so not a lot. Milk stouts tend to be sweeter. If you're not familiar with the style, usually they use lactic sugars, hence the milk stout, lactose. These are sugars that yeast generally has a lot of problems breaking down. Thus, the alcohol is usually lesser in the actual brew because the yeast cannot eat the sugars to produce alcohol, and it leaves residual sugar in the actual brew. So generally you get a sweeter taste. Sometimes you'll get more of a creamy mouthfeel. So we'll see what we think of this one. One of the Bose caps says, "This machine kills imports." All right. Quite like Bose. I think you've seen, if you've been following my channel, you've seen my opinion of most of their beers have been very, very positive. All right. And of course, the other thing I love about Bose is the big 600 milliliter bottles. Good stuff. All right. Well, I see a bit of a ruby red highlight from my light coming through there, but it's pretty much very dark brown, pitch black kind of color. A little bit of a tan head on there. It looks like a stout. All right, let's go right to the aroma. Getting a mild roast on this. It's a mild coffee roast. A little bit of like a cream-like aroma coming out of it as well. And a little bit of a tinge of a sourness as well on it. It doesn't remind me so much of a stout as it does. I've been having a couple beers lately. Actually, one from Bose. This reminds me of the 2 weeks notice. Actually, it actually has a lot common with that. A bit milder actually than the 2 weeks notice German porter, which is what they said that style was. This is sort of like that, but not quite as roasty. a little bit of a sour tinge. But it reminds me less of a stout and more of a German Schwarzbier, which is a black lager. But it smells good. Just a very mild stout kind of aroma, black lager kind of aroma. You know, your toasted malt kind of thing. Um, so cheers. We'll go right to the taste. See what we think. Hmm. Ah, that's not that impressive, actually. Again, I say Schwarzbier. It reminds me more of a Schwarzbier than it does. Definitely does not remind me too much of a milk stout. Um, I mean, there is that slight sourness, a bit of a lactic kind of feel, taste to it, but no real sweetness. Like there's not like a the expected sort of lactic sugars coming out in this. The body is very thin, way too thin for a stout, I'd say. That's where I'm getting the Schwarzbier thing coming up. I mean, I have no doubt this is brewed as an ale, but it's very thin. I will say, I'm getting really nice coffee roast on the back now. Much more stout like than dark lager like. The finish on this is actually very nice. That little lactic sourness thing mixing with the roast in the back is actually a really nice finish. I really enjoy that. But man, this needs more sweetness and more body to really, for in my opinion, to fit the style. It kind of feels. I don't even want to say it this way, but kind of feels half-assed in a way. Like they just sort of they compromised a bit too much and decided not to brew like a real full-on stout. They just wanted something much more accessible and easy to drink that Tom Green fans might want to drink. Who maybe are not beer drinkers, but hey, I want to buy the Tom Green beer because I like Tom Green. So they wanted to make something that is dark, it's roasty, but it's not anywhere near the intensity of like a regular stout, which is kind of disappointing, but it's understandable at the same time, I guess. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's just a tad disappointing. That's all. Um, by the way, I think I forgot to mention this at the start. This was sent to me by Ewart, Strange Brewsings on YouTube. I will link down to him. He's a good beer reviewer. You should check him out and subscribe to his channel. Big thanks to him for giving me this. I wanted to try this one. I want to try anything from Bose, quite frankly. But this is really nice of him to send this. Unfortunately, it's a bit of an overhyped beer. It seems like one of those celebrity beers that really doesn't have anything amazing going on for it. But at the same time, it's still a good beer. It's still a decent beer. It's still worth getting just to try if you can find it. From what I understand, it's very hard to actually get your hands on. Um, but yeah, basically you got to go. I think you got to go right to Bose to actually get it. So cheers. We're gonna give it. I'm gonna go 3.25 out of 5. I'd say that's a fair rating for that. There's just nothing about it that really stands out or is exciting. It just kind of falls short of what it probably should be, but it's still a decent beer. So the Tom Green beer, milk stout from Bose, 3.25 out of 5. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.